Outdoor America has two new adventure seekers on the Wild West Trail. Meet Mark and Terrence. Mark is a successful businessman. He's got the private jet and all the toys. His best friend Terrence is a police officer from Iowa. They love nothing more than taking to the desert in their custom off-roaders in search of great four-wheeling, ghost towns, abandoned mines, and pretty much anything and anyone crazy they can find. As they say, you can't make this stuff up. Join us on the road with the Rubberfoot Buffaloes. Now, if you lived through the 1980s, you'd have thought that the Joshua Tree was something not invented until rock gods U2 recorded an album of the same name. But no, it's a tree, not surprisingly, and it's a national park where the Mojave and Colorado deserts meet. Hot in the daytime, very cold at nights, and the rocks there are, as Mark will tell you, 1.7 billion years old. What it also has is a bunch of incredible off-road trails and gold mining mysteries the Buffaloes are keen to uncover. The boys were heading that way, jeeps in convoy, to meet trail guide Bear Claw. They've had a puncture, they've held the map upside down, and the film crew had insisted on stopping at Burger King. That meant they were late and would be making camp in the pitch black, which makes Terrence crazy. So they really had the hammer down as night fell.
I jump on the radio, I'm like hit the brakes, and you stopped. And I turned on my overhead LED bar, or light bar, and then I could see a horse trailer. It's stuck.
Now then, a guy in the middle of a desert road wearing a polo helmet while flagging down passing cars. Luckily, Mark has his English translator with him.
I'm paraphrasing, I can't speak British, the King's English very well, but Nick goes something to the effect, "What in bloody hell is going on?" And the guy looks at Nick and goes in an Australian accent, "Oh, it's the British. They're here to save us." I thought they were here to shoot or stab us.
I had visions of us walking and being attacked and being killed and being on the radio.
We were just up here trail riding, and we backed in here to turn the truck around, and the wheels started spinning. Oh, wow. Nothing we could move. There's no cell phone service out here, so you can't call anybody. So thank God the gods sent a British film crew to save us.
I'm over here to try and get polo people from America to come to Australia to re-energise our sport.
Oh, really?
Because as I often say, we don't have a royal family to give it all the buzz.
Well, they do, but that's not the point. Every other vehicle passing them rolled up the windows and jumped on the gas.
I find the truck driver, he's over trying to throw everything he can. He's got a shovel out, he's trying to kick sand underneath the tires, and he asked if we could hook onto him on one of our winches and tow him out. So we got, Mark jumps and he goes into action, he grabs our road flares.
Stick a couple on the side of the Jeep.
So we hook up, strap to the axle, I hook my winch up, I hold the brakes and I pull the winch tight. At this point, the winch goes dead. So we tried rehooking it a few ways. At this point, it's the truck driver, what's in the trailer? And I thought maybe he had hay bales.
Horses. Terrence says to me, "How much does a horse weigh?" "I don't know, 900 pounds. He goes, "Well, get him out of there." So this poor guy with the helmet, the fifth helmet with the face guard, takes all these horses off the trailer.
Top tip here, if your horse trailer gets stuck, maybe get the livestock out first.
I'm trying not to laugh because it's so comical. And finally, miraculously, we got enough traction and we were able to move the truck. You know, and as it turns out, that the guy with the helmet was still kind of a goof nut, but the guy that was driving the semi, turns out he is the largest polo pony provider west of the Rocky Mountains, which I never even heard of such a thing. I never knew such a thing existed, but he was just like you. He was just a normal, down-to-earth guy, and I'll never forget when he looked at you and I and he goes, "What do I owe you guys?" And I'll never forget it for as long as I live. You looked at him and said, "Hey, buddy, just pay it forward. Do somebody else a favor." So then we're hauling the mail. After we got done with that, trying to get to Joshua Tree, it's, I don't know, was it 9, 10 o'clock now?
Right now it's warm. We got our fleeces on, that's about it. It's a chill in here. we start climbing in the dark. And we are climbing and climbing. I keep seeing the little temperature indicator on the dashboard.
You radioed me and said, Mark, for every mile we go, it drops 5 degrees.
It went from maybe 60 degrees to maybe 30 degrees within about a half hour, 45 minutes of driving. We pull in the Joshua Tree National Park. We find this mini campground. We're setting up camp. You know, I pull this tent out, and these British filmmakers, they're fun, but they look at me like, what are you gonna do with that? We're gonna set this tent up.
Nick is worried about the camera crew freezing to death.
It's cold. We're not cold. Our tent is there.
So we brought these 2 heaters with us. I brought them along just in case the film crew who would be not used to the conditions, which we were already acclimated to.
And when I realized how much propane we went through, I said, man, we're not gonna be able to cook.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So tonight the treat is going to be tri-tip. Thanks to our dear friends, we got the tri-tip shack right behind the Kraken, and they prepped us a special one. All I had to do was make it to a hot grill, which we have succeeded in doing.
We ate it like we hadn't eaten a meal in a month. We woke up the next morning, sun was shining, it heated up pretty quickly. And once again, we just cut across the desert. And we head out, and then there's that one road, and we just bail on it.
Old Dale Mine Road.
And it just goes on forever. The view never ends. The vistas out there are extraordinary. And we're running and gunning, and we're coming down into this wash.
Before we go any further, I just want to air down some more. If you want to back onto this level spot, let's air them down. Right off the showroom floor, they come with differential lock, they come with sway bar and disconnect. Mark's Jeep is modified with every kind. He's got Nerf bars. He has modified the suspension. You've got air locks, front and rear, geared lower for pulling the trailer that he has.
Our Jeeps are designed for some more extreme rock crawling, where the rocks you're crawling over are the size of your Jeep. Exploring the desert is one of the most amazing things. There's no better way than in a Jeep.
Howdy.
Hey there.
How you guys doing? Doing great. How about you? Good, good. Just out playing in the desert.
Excellent. Yeah, we cruising up, and have you guys been inside the building yet?
We have. Yeah, we walked up just a little bit ago, and you know, there's some graffiti and stuff, but it's
I'm
pretty
so
cool.
glad nobody graffitied this side
Exactly.
of the American flag.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
all we can ask for.
Yeah, so what are you guys doing?
We are on our honeymoon. So yeah, third
I
stop.
better leave you alone. What was your name?
Tucker.
Tucker, nice to meet you. And
Carol.
Carol, nice to meet you.
Nice
young
to meet
lady. Well, you guys travel safe and
We
have
will.
fun. We're gonna go over the mountain. We're gonna hook up, and we're gonna do a little panning for gold.
Awesome.
So,
Perfect.
yeah,
Beautiful
you guys
day.
take care.
We will.
What are
You
you
too.
running for tire pressure?
We're at about 20 pounds right now.
So, wishing the newlyweds goodbye, the guys continue the day with some gentle off-roading and the chance to take some cool photos of the Jeeps in spectacular scenery. This is the last chance they'll have to test the upgraded suspension parts on the vehicles before the going gets a lot tougher. They're planning to search for some strange anomalies that Mark spotted when he was flying over the desert. Weird protrusions that look like upside-down cupcake molds. The Buffaloes think they're part of the long-closed gold mining industry on the trail, but they can't work out quite what they would have been used for.
So as we go down into this little ravine, you can see where all the tracks divert off, and then they just go on. And you know, we pull up and there's that processing plant. The one thing that really captivated me was this big circular white mass that looked like chalk. I remember commenting how there's no Jeep tracks here, there's no people tracks here. It's like we're the only ones on the planet. We're walking around on it, poking it with my stick, and I just remember how soft and chalky it was. It was just kind of bizarre. But everywhere we went, we were leaving footprints, but we were the only ones.
If Mark had actually known what he was digging about in with his stick, he would have been a lot more cautious. In fact, he'd probably not have wanted to prod the ground with anything less than a 20-foot pole, let alone a stick. He won't learn of the actual deadly truth until he gets around the campfire with some old-time miners later in the day.
How far is the drop down the other side?
Oh, 300 feet. Straight down. A lot of rocks. Pretty icky. This is so cool. This is what Jeeps were made to do, man. This is unbelievable.
We're coming out, down this ridge, and it's pretty technical four-wheeling. And we'd run into this old miner with his orange Jeep.
Well, why don't we roll up on
Yeah,
you
go on
guys
up there
and follow you up there?
Yeah,
Can we
sure.
do that? All right. Is that where we're camping as well?
Yes.
So it's way cool to meet up with Digger. Met him a couple years ago and got to talking to him, and he pulled out a baggie with a handful of gold in it, some gold nuggets, and they've invited us up to their claim to camp with them tonight. So pretty excited to learn what we can about them. The name of their club is the First Class Miners, and the reason they're called that is not because they're first class, but the professor who founded it said, "Welcome to the first class of mining." And it was the very first class they taught.
We do this for fun. We do it for our health, you know, and to get out and go camping out here and stuff. I mean, you can't beat the weather right now. And not only that, we make some money out of this. So, you know, Tommy here, myself, Sherry, we're all professional miners. And believe it or not, there's no such thing as a recreational miner, because eventually they're going to sell that gold. And that means when they do, then they're supposed to pay taxes on it. And that makes them a professional. But we're required out here to use hand tools, small pieces of equipment. We can't bring any kind of heavy equipment out here. We can't use blasting equipment. And the BLM, Bureau of Land Management, lets us come out here and dig for gold.
I'm gonna scrape dirt off that way, or rock off that way, so you might want to move.
Oh, I've been doing this for about 25 years. Yeah. I've been a treasure hunter for a long time, since the early 70s. Well, you know what they say, gold is where you find it. But there are indicators where you can kind of guess where gold has been. But there's gold all over in this particular claim. It's just the amount you want to try to work it.
I'm sitting back at camp. I got a nice cigar, nice scotch, and I'm making jambalaya, and I'm cooking up, I think, steaks for the evening. And I'm making all this up, and you take off.
The guys invite me to come down and assist them mining. And this is a dry mine, so everybody sees on TV like this water rushing and stuff. This has no water at all, you know. And it was, you never even explained this to me, so I get down in there and I jump in the hole. And at that point, I grab a shovel and I start digging. They say dig, 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 fill buckets, and they hand me these two claws. It's almost like what you would say for climbing a mountain almost, but they're like digging tools that you hook onto your hand. And you're almost like a dog digging.
Thought you looked more like a pocket gopher, but we'll go with the dog.
So I'm digging, I'm just digging. And I grab my tools and I'm just digging, digging, digging. I get all this fresh pay dirt. They told me it was pay dirt. I then take my bucket up to one of the sluices, the dry sluice boxes. They got it all set up for me. It's like basically a lawnmower engine hooked to a belt that spins this big shaking tray with screens in it.
So the whole basic principle is weight here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Weight. You're kind of out of breath, aren't you?
Yeah, that was a lot. You're really working me, boss.
It's heavier than lead. But
It's heavier than lead.
yeah, but when you pan for gold, you don't have to worry about losing it. When you're panning, it's always at the bottom, because the gold is heavier than the water.
Oh, okay.
9 times heavier.
We'll put it in that bucket over there. Keep yours separated from mine.
All right.
Because I don't want to give you any nuggets. You might have any.
So we're sifting through the pay dirt after we've ran it through the sluice box, and lo and behold, there is a gold nugget.
So this is my pan.
What I want to know is why you're digging through my material.
Oh, I'm sorry.
over there.
You know what? I couldn't help but that sunlight just grabbed a hold of this, guys. Check this out.
That's a nice little picker.
You know what? If I wasn't brand new at this, I'd say you planted this, but I grabbed it out of the inside of there, so I know you didn't. Oh my God, look at this. There's gold right there in these hills.
Gold in them there hills.
There's gold in them there hills.
Close.
And I'm so excited, I'm shaking, guys. I am not kidding you. This is.
Well, I don't know why you're shaking, because it's mine.
I know, but it's just cool to find stuff, buddy. Right there.
Well, you know what?
Look at that.
You guys can hang around here for
He found another one.
Look at this. Look at this. This is unreal.
And I'm sifting through it again, and I find two more. They're a little smaller, but I find 2 more pieces. I am just ecstatic. I grab them, I'm jumping around. I mean, this is amazing for me to find this. I felt like what I've always read about or seen on TV.
Gold fever.
Yeah, I had gold fever.
Cool, and you just found that in the dirt? This is called dry panning?
Just chiseled this out of here, and this is no kidding, guys. I chiseled that out of there, I put it in my bucket, and this was his. He was just doing it before I got here. They were demonstrating it.
How cool.
And I just went like this, saying, he goes, get out of my pen, that's my pen. And I pulled this right out of it. There's another one, there's a third one.
Wow,
A real
third
coarse
what?
one. Three
Thing
of them.
gold?
3 of them.
You don't mind if I...
Yeah, take those. Right there.
How many you got? There's 2.
After we pass it around, they all come back to me, and I've got them in my hand, and I said, here, give me a bag to put these in, and I go to put them back in the bag, and one of the miners looks at me and he says, where's the third one? And at that point, I thought he was kidding. And I'm like, this guy's just playing a joke on me. Nobody's talking, nobody's laughing. So I look around and everybody's looking at me like I'm some sort of thief. And I go, I did not, what do you mean? One of you guys has the gold. And it got very awkward very quickly.
The first nugget I found has come up missing. And we're gonna have what we call a shakedown. And then they, if I remember correctly on the old shows, they hang the guy that stole the gold. And there's probably a noose or a gallows around here somewhere close.
Okay, let's actually turn serious now. Is it really missing, or is somebody...
No, it's really missing.
It's really missing.
So check your pockets.
Yeah.
There's none of us put it there.
I've had my hands on the camera all the time.
Yeah, same.
But
Do you want to play the file back and have a look?
Yeah, play the file back and look where it went.
And I am like, my blood pressure's coming up, and I'm scrambling now. Now, at this point, I'm breaking anything that's going on. I go right to the director. I'm like, did you see where this gold went? And
I'm the director of the shoot. We're now going to go back and check the files from the other camera. We've actually got I don't know whether or not we can see this, but we've actually got a freeze frame there of it leaving Terrence's hands. So let me scrape the dust off that. So we're now going to go back to the production unit and take a detailed look at the footage.
once the director said he didn't have it, I thought we were sunk. We're done. Take your jambalaya and throw that bag freaking back in the Jeep. Let's go.
So I come walking up about this point, all right? And the director, Nick, comes walking up to me and goes, "We got a really serious problem." And I went, "Oh, yeah, right." And he goes, "No, I'm serious. They think we've taken a nugget of gold that Terrence found, and they are super pissed." And I'm going, "No, I don't believe that for a minute." I realized the seriousness of it, and the professor goes, "I need to talk to you." And he just says to me, "I don't care what you want to say about your friend's characters. Gold does funny things to people." And he goes, "I'm going to tell you right now, gold fever is a real deal, and I've experienced it before. And right now, I'm not very happy. And if we don't find that piece of gold, this whole thing's going to unhook, just so you know." And I didn't really know what unhook meant, other than I kept looking at his sidearm.
We got back to the campsite, and it was weird. I finally see, was it Digger that came out with a metal detector?
Yeah.
At this point, I thought it's gone. I thought for sure somebody stole it, got dropped by accident, or I wasn't sure what to believe. But at this point, I just wanted to leave. I wanted to go and be as far away from these people with guns as it possibly could.
Got it.
Well
You're
done.
shitting me.
Way cool.
And Ellie, you planted it there?
Yeah, it's all
She's got a camera.
staged for the show.
So how the fuck are we stupid enough to drop it?
I don't know. Sure makes me feel better.
Here, hang on to that sucker. Hey, get this on camera. Put it in your pocket. Hey! We found it! Yahtzee! Can I play with that for a while? Hey, can we?
Is this the method in which you found this gold, using this dry wash method? Is that how you found these?
Some of this
I
stuff.
thought-
Some
I
of it
thought
I
you-
found with a metal detector.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of doing what we're doing, what if we just take this down the hole?
You can do that.
That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah. And now listen to this.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Yeah, zap zap.
Yeah.
It's hard because you start getting used to that sound. Once you get used to that sound, you start to get fake. Like right there, you think you got something, but it's
It's not that zap.
You know, the professor was relieved, Digger was relieved. I really respect their stewardship of the land, putting things back.
Peace has broken out. Mark is serving jambalaya and shots around the campfire, and he can't help but ask the big question.
So when we were coming up here, there's a big metal tank that's off to the side. There was the different levels. What was that? Is that a...
It's cyanide. If it's exposed to the air, it's probably
dissipated.
You don't have a problem. If you dig down about 6 or 7 feet and then start playing with it, you might have a problem.
So what was that facility used for?
Well, they would grind up the ore and then take the ore and put it in a cyanide solution. The cyanide would extract the gold from the ore, and then they would reconstitute it when they were done.
So they hauled the ore down the road that we drove up and processed it there?
Probably, if there's cyanide tailings there, yeah.
Cyanide is biodegradable, so by the sun, UV rays, and so if you are walking around on the top of it, it's not bad, but people who run around out here in the desert, these desert explorers and stuff, they start climbing around on top of these cyanide piles. They're running the possibilities of getting cyanide poisoning.
I thought it was one of the neatest stops because we always go out there hoping we might find something. We take little, pickaxes and all that stuff. And here we are just digging in sand through this riverbank. And the way they explain the millennia of years of formation and why that gold is there. And overall, I just thought it was a really cool experience.